We're here at the Halliwell Jones Stadium, home of the Warrington Wolves, to get an insight as to what really happens behind the scenes prior to kick-off in the perspective of people involved in the club.
Introduce yourself and what's your position within the club?
Paul Cullen, 814, supporter, player, coach.
Lee Breers, ex-player, full-time head coach of under-19s.
I'm Bernie Lenihan, stadium manager of Warrington Wolves at the Halliwell Jones Stadium.
One more, the first team, 19s, 16s kit manager.
Did your pre-match routine differ from being a player to being a coach?
Certain aspects did, but for the main it was exactly the same. It was about having fun, being prepared, enjoying yourself and giving of your best.
What thoughts and feelings run through your head when you're in a tunnel before the game?
It could be different. With the big games, you're probably a touch more nervous, and mainly the most emotions was excitement. You're going to go out and play in front of, 10 to 15,000 people, so excitement that you're going to put on a good show for all them fans who've paid their hard-earned money.
What is your usual pre-match routine?
Well, if I can, I try and get the kit out the day before, but if we're playing away, I have to get it a couple of days before, but I don't get a team till 2 days before we go. So therefore I have to do every squad member, unless I know they're long-term injured. I have to roll everybody's kit.
Usual pre-match routine, if it's on Sunday 3 o'clock, which is our traditional kick-off time, I'll be in about 9 o'clock in the morning, open up the doors that need opening, make sure the doors that need to be closed are closed, and make sure the stadium is presented correctly and is safe for our paying spectators.
In your opinion, how do the fans differ from Wilderspool to Halliwell Jones Stadium?
Well, obviously at Wilderspool it was only probably 7 to 8,000 fans there, but they were really on top of the stadium. It was nice and close.
The last game at Wilderspool, what was that like? What was the pre-match build-up, knowing you were leaving?
Absolutely intense. To no degree of intense. Even the first game at the Halliwell Jones wasn't as intense as that game at Wilderspool, because everyone knew we had to win that game.
Any superstitions you had before kick-off?
I've seen many over the years, and myself as a player entered into a few until I realised it was complete and utter nonsense. I've used the same method and gone out and broke my arm. I've used the same method and gone out and scored a hat-trick. I've used the same method and gone out and got sent off. It's rubbish. It doesn't matter whatsoever. I've seen players have to take the boot up in the same way and do exactly the same thing I've just mentioned. Break a leg, play well, play poorly, get sent off.
We had Lee Breers. If his socks was inside out, he couldn't pull them. He's got a superstition of putting his hand in a pair of socks and just to pull them the right way. Obviously I did this on purpose to get him going.
The biggest superstition I've ever seen in 26 years of working at Warrington Wolves was Lee Penny. He was the first man in the dressing room and the first man out of the dressing room. He couldn't wait to get in and he couldn't wait to get home. He'd be in an hour and a half before he was needed to be. But then, as soon as the game finished, he'd have packed his bag and gone. He wouldn't even eat after the game.
A lot of preparation and time is needed to train to get the teams ready for the big day.
Do you feel more pressure before a game as a coach to being a player?
Only in the fact that as a coach you have the responsibility for 17 individuals. As a player, you ultimately have to take responsibility and control of yourself and work for the greater good of the team.
How do the fans make you feel when you run onto the pitch?
Well, that's other than you're playing for your teammates and yourself, you play for the badge of Warrington, and that under that badge comes the fans, which they were extra special in my time here. We went through some bad times, but also to the end of my career we went through some excellent times, which was a bonus.
Any last comments regarding the hour before game day?
It's about enjoyment. I used to use that time as a player to remind myself why I played, and it was about enjoyment. It was about respect for those who had gone before me and had worn these colours.
We have a good repertoire. We all stick together. We're all a team. Everybody's a team.